What's up guys, Shams11 and welcome to Caveman Warriors, out right gosh darn now on the Xbox One. We are joined by Jack, Brienne, Mo and Liliana for this platform hack 'em, slash 'em, stab 'em, explode 'em up. Story's pretty simple. Some aliens have arrived on prehistoric Earth and made the terrible decision to come down in their very small one alien ship and grab Bill and Ben, and off they go. Little secret there. We, as you can see, can control 4 characters in single player. This is 4-player co-op, but when you're on your own, like I am, you control all 4. And the 4 characters all have different abilities and allow you to progress through the levels. You will need all of their skills at various points to get through them all. The controls are fairly simple. A is jump. Up and A is super jump. You can also press B. It does exactly the same thing. Y lets you interact with certain things, and X is attack. On top of that, all of the characters have 2 unique abilities. One with right trigger and one with the left trigger. These all vary. They all do different things, such as... Oh, we don't want to do that. Such as a 2-headed monkey that dances and distracts everybody. We also have a giant piece of meat we can use as a shield, as well as club people absolutely miles. Now, as you can see, you can't just keep using them. Eventually, you get tired and you can no longer use them. Up in the top left, you can see my score. Then my health is the green bar, and then my stamina. As I do special moves, my stamina becomes very low until the point I'm exhausted, at which point you can't move for a second or 2, and it makes you vulnerable to attacks. You can't dodge, you can't block, you are in deep doo-doo. Now there are various different things that are dropped by enemies and indeed found. Some just give you points, some give you some health, and some give you both, which is very nice. The enemies are a nice little mixture of human, animal and plant, and along the way, hey, none of that, come on now, along the way you will see me go to various little campsites where there is usually some meat roasting away. They are our save points. Now, as you can see down in the bottom left, I have 3 stakes. They are my 3 lives. Once they are all used up, it is not necessarily game over, but it's level over. You have to start the level again. Now that's not too big a deal, but some of the levels can take quite a bit of work and effort to get to. The difficulty on this, I'd say, is relatively high. I mean, if you've grown up with old school platformers, you'll probably get on with this fine. If you're a doddering old fool like I am, or new to kind of platformers, you may struggle a little bit with this. It can be a bit unforgiving, especially in single player. Once all those lives are up and you have to go back to the beginning, it can be a little demoralising. Now, I've already collected this one, hence it's greyed out, but there we go. The batteries, there are 3 on each level. They basically unlock extra levels. The main campaign unlocks as normal, as you'd expect. The camps, by the way, also regenerate your health, which is very welcome. Levels unlock as normal, but there are extra bonus levels. Now, from what I've gathered, these just seem to be harder versions of the levels you're already doing, which seems a bit odd to me. They're for hunting them all down. Obviously, they're tied to achievements, so that is a reward, I suppose. But to me, it seems a bit odd that you do all of that just to play the same level again, but slightly harder. It's not really a reward. But, you know, there we go. That's how it's done. There are a nice selection of levels. There are 8 main campaign levels. Each level has their own unique setting, and each level ends in a boss fight. The bosses are quite good. They will require you to use different characters and their abilities to help you destroy them. There is a nice little balance of things to do, But as you can see with this one, I'm controlling the front guns here. There are back guns as well. It really does feel like it's geared towards multiplayer, and I think it's a real shame that there is no online co-op. I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm not getting the true kind of gameplay experience that was, the game was made to do. However, saying that, I have so far thoroughly enjoyed my time with the game. The achievements are nicely balanced. There are a few for just doing various things in levels. There are, of course, ones for completing every level, collecting every level, doing all the secret levels, that kind of thing. But you will get a steady flow of achievements as we play. I do believe, if we take a quick look, I have 345 G so far, and a lot of the ones left now are just complete. But there are achievements for various ones, such as find a certain amount of collectibles, continue going through the game, and indeed jumping on lots of enemies, using special abilities on lots of enemies, completing a level without dying, which yes, somehow I did. And there's certainly enough here to keep you going. The settings are, like I said, very varied. There's futuristic robot ones. There's, as you may have seen at the beginning, there's some strange World War II kind of dimensional shift. There are, of course, caves. There are these desert levels, and we saw at the beginning a much more kind of tropical island sort of feel to it. Now, the only thing with some of the levels is that although they're set in different places, the enemies do feel like they're just reskinned. Some of the better ones are found on this kind of futuristic level, but again, we will find these checkpoints in future levels and have to get through them in exactly the same way as we're doing now. It's not necessarily a bad thing. At least it keeps the game familiar. You're not learning too much, whereas this one especially has much different kind of gameplay mechanics. There's much more of a traditional platformer kind of game here. My son said this reminded him of Sonic the Hedgehog. It reminds me of kind of a Mega Man feel as well. Again, no bad thing. Both those games are obviously very well known and very well loved. I think overall, this game has a slight danger of being released in an odd period. A lot of people are gearing up for the Christmas games already, believe it or not, and I worry that this one will just get ignored, as sadly many great idea Xbox games do. I hope not. I hope people give this a go, because I genuinely believe there's a lot of fun to be had here. You will have to invest a little bit of time into it, but for me, it's just as enjoyable as the latest Sonic game. There is, obviously, we've got Cuphead coming out, so there's plenty of decent platformers on their way, or indeed out now, depending on when you're watching this. But I do feel that this definitely does deserve to have its own little spot. It's certainly got enough charm, my face, and appeal, but like I said, there is a level of difficulty here that you will have to be a little bit aware of, but as you learn what each character's strengths are, this does get an awful lot easier. For some reason I can't hit that gun, but that's fine, we'll let it live. I think while I'm getting my arse handed to me by these turrets, this is as good a place as any to stop. I hope this, well, not really a review, I hope this gameplay has helped. I hope it's given you an idea of what the game has to offer. And indeed, I think it does offer quite a bit. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with the game. I'd like to say back in the prehistoric era, but quite clearly I am not. And I've just jumped to my death like a fool. Hope the video's helped. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please, guys, let me know your thoughts. Give me a little like and a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this. Thank you ever so much for watching.